I told him we should keep things strictly as friends. He didn't protest or argue. He simply disappeared from my life before I even stepped inside my place. The suddenness felt like a scene in a film. One moment we were wrapped in honest, open conversation. The next I was erased from his world. If you've ever spoken words meant to protect, only for them to slam like a door, you'll recognize the sting. We weren't lovers, yet we weren't strangers either. Bond lived in that undefined space. Intimate to call casual, too light to be. Moments. Nights stretched into early mornings of talk. Messages came at random, raw and unfiltered. Shared playlists with intent. Inside jokes no one else could ever get. Weekends slid from simple texts to him staying over. Without questions. No titles needed. Felt natural, like learning a song that slowly becomes familiar. Maybe that was where the trouble started. I was still fragile from a heartbreak that had left me exposed and tender. My heart had only begun to heal when he appeared, not with fireworks or passion, but with a calm, steady comfort that seemed enough for a time. Then I sensed he wanted more than I could offer. He never admitted it aloud, but I saw it in his gaze when I rambled, in the way he remembered small details I barely noticed myself in, how freely I could be messy and unguarded around him. Fear took hold. I wasn't ready to match what he felt, so without planning I used the phrase I always knew. Let's stay friends. It slipped out instinctively. Not cruel but final. We were in his car, parked by my building. Just moments before he'd handed me a snack I had casually mentioned earlier. His thoughtfulness disarmed me. I tried to soften my words, but he only nodded, quiet, accepting, and let me leave. Standing at my door, the night air sharp against my skin, my hands shaking as I fumbled with keys. Part of me wanted to turn back and confess. I'm scared. Don't want to lose this. But I didn't. I went inside, sat down, checked my phone, blocked on Instagram, gone from WhatsApp, messages unsent, unfollowed on Twitter. He erased me as if removing a page from a book entirely. First it was shock, like icy water, then panic. Then an ache, deep and heavy, part guilt, part grief. I expected slow drifting, maybe faint contact left behind, but he left nothing. For days I repeated to myself I'd done the right thing. He deserves someone ready. You're still healing. You can't force it. But those words felt empty. It wasn't about him. I doubted it was about me. He was genuine, steady, kind. I just didn't know how to accept it. I had grown used to love that demanded proof, that forced me to bend into someone else's shape. He didn't. He accepted me as I was. I couldn't believe I was enough. I hid behind friendship and he answered with absence, a silence so absolute it swallowed everything. No words, no fights, just emptiness. I've drafted countless messages since, all starting with hey, all deleted before sending. I'm sorry I was afraid. I'm sorry I hid behind friendship. I'm sorry I didn't trust you could care without harm. None were sent. Maybe he deserves someone braver, someone who wouldn't retreat from something fragile only to realize too late they wanted to stay. The truth is I miss him. Not a dream version, but the way he made the world feel quieter, lighter. The way he listened as if my words had weight. The way he saw me whole even when I felt incomplete. Don't know if he thinks of me or if he ever will, but I hope he understands. Didn't say just friends because I didn't care. I said it because I cared more than I knew how to handle. And I was terrified of what that care meant. You've ever walked away before letting someone fully in, if you've used safe words to shield yourself from real Feelings if you've been cut off and felt you deserved it, remember this. Understand we all stumble through love. Sometimes retreating when it feels too best. The question is, what do we do with the silence that follows?